everyone. Today we'll be continuing with the remaining sums of exercise 5.1 of our chapter 5, that is data handling. We'll continue with question number 3. Yes, we have done the previous questions in our previous video, last video. So here we'll start from question number 3. So in the last video we have discussed about making a bar graph using a frequency distribution table. Here also we'll be making frequency distribution table, but here we'll have class intervals. So before starting with the frequency distribution table, I would like to tell you something about class interval. Class interval means when we divide a particular data into various intervals. Suppose if I consider the age of people and say that we have started forming the ages from 10 to 20 and again 20 to 30, 30 to 40. So we can categorize people in this. So we are not going to start with 3 now. Question number 3 will just that these are called class interval, means the range of data here. So that means in this particular interval there will be numbers from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, so on till 19, not 20. Okay. Similarly, in this case here the data will start from 21, 20, 21, 22, so on till 29, 28, 29. It doesn't happen to the last. Now, when we consider this interval, this particular is called the lower class limit because it's small, okay, of the interval, and this particular is called the upper class limit. You have to know all these things, okay. So whenever we form a frequency distribution table, if there is a data 15, obviously it will fall in this category, okay. If there is a data 16, and this will also fall here. If there is a data 21, it will fall in this category of data. But if there is a data 20, so in which category will this form go? Here also we have 20, here also we have 20. Always remember 20, these numbers will go where 20 is the lower class limit. So this data will go here, not here. Okay. So in this way we will see how the chapter exercise works for, and we'll start with question number 3. So let's begin with question number 3. It's given the weekly wages in rupees of 30 workers in a factory are given as, you can see 30, 35, 890, all these numbers are given. So using tally marks and make a frequency distribution table with interval. The interval is mentioned, it's given as 80 to 810, then 800 to 810, 810 to 20, and so on. So we'll have to see the data. There are 30 workers it's given. What is the highest number here? If you see properly, I can see 898. Okay, so I have to make the range till 890 to 900. Okay, and then I will form the class frequency distribution table. So here we'll make the frequency distribution table. So my columns will be, first will be my class interval, where we'll have 800 to, then we'll have the tally marks, and then we'll have the frequency. So with this are the 3 columns. So let's make the table now. So as you all can see this, please see my class intervals will start from 800 to 810, 810 to 820, and so on. We'll make all the class intervals here. So please see here, these are my class intervals till 900 because the highest number is 98. Now let's see the data in the question. The first one is 830. So 830, you can see 830 is here also and here also. As I have explained you earlier, 830 will come here. Okay. Similarly 835. 835 will also come here. Right. Next is 890. 890 will not be here, but it will be here. So 890 will be here. Similarly, we will find the tally marks for all of them. Let's do that now. So let's see this. So we have found out the frequencies of this, and then we have written down. This represents 3, this is 2, this is 1. Here you can see 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9. So like this. So we have all this. Now, how to make sure that our tally mark is correct or not? You find out the total of this frequency. When you add it up, you will get it as 30. 3 plus 2, 5, and Okay, so it's 30. And how will you know that 30 is correct? In the question it was given the weekly wages of 30 workers. The total number of workers are 30. This is 30. That means my frequency distribution table is correct. So my question was, using tally marks, make a frequency distribution table which class intervals as this. So this is how I do this. Now for this frequency distribution table, if you go to question number 4, it has a connection with question number 3. Draw the histogram for the frequency distribution table made for the data in question number 3 and answer the following questions. So I'll make this one here. This is already made. So I have to make my histogram. And in histogram, remember, between the bar graph and histogram, the difference is that the histogram doesn't have gap in between the bars. So I'll show you the histogram, how it is made. So let's see this one. For question number 4, this is the histogram that I have prepared. See, on the x-axis, I have taken the weekly wages. I have also written it down. Please see, weekly wages in rupees. This is my x-axis. You can see all of you. On the y-axis, I have taken the number of workers. I have also marked it as y. So I have taken it as 1, 2, 3, 4 till 10, because you can see the frequency, the highest one is 9. So I'm just taking one more, so I'm taking as 10. Now, one thing to be very clear here. So let's get started here. Now see, for the first interval, that is 800 to 810, number of workers is 3. So see the range 800 to 810. Next one, 810 to 20, the number of workers was 2. Taken it this way. Next was 1. Next one is 9 here, and so on. The last one is from 890 to 900. It is 4. So this is my histogram. You can see there are no gaps between the graph. Now what is the scale I have taken? See, on the x-axis, you can see this is a curved line like this. Why I have taken? You can see all of them are equal. 10, 10, 10, all have a difference of 10. But 0 to 800, there is 800 gaps in between. So I cannot draw a straight line where this is n. When I started from the origin and I see that all are in unequal, I give a curved line like this. It looks like this, so that it shows that there is a continuation. You cannot draw again 100, 10, 20, 30, 40 like this, 310, 320. The bar graph won't fit that much. So we need from 800, so we started from there. Okay, and on the y-axis, you can see I have taken that one so that it looks bigger. I have taken 10 small squares as 1 unit. So you can see I have written x-axis 1. This is not 10. Please see, this is striked out. 1 small square is equal to 1 unit, because you can see here it is in the gap is 10 in these two, and then also the difference is here, and then another one here I have taken it that. So this is the histogram that we are looking for. Now these questions that I have to answer, you can do it on the right hand side of the graph copy, because it's a graph question. So you have a 2 lines page on the graph copy, so you will write down the answer there. Okay, for question number 4, that will be completely done in your graph copy. You have a graph copy like this. You have already mentioned the scale and all everything here. So question number 4, number 1, question was there, which group has the maximum number of workers? So if you can see the 9, the highest number is in 830 to 840. So let's write this. So please see this. There are maximum number of workers in the group 830 to 840. Okay, let's do number 2. Number 2 is given how many workers earn 850 and more. So if you see 850 and more, how many workers are there? We'll add them up. Let's see this. 1 plus 3, 4 plus 1, 5 plus 1, 6 is equal to 10. So these are the workers which earn 850 and more. Going to the last question 3. Number of workers that earn less than 850. So how do you do this? Add them up again. 5 plus 9 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. You can see the frequency distribution table or even the histogram. Add them up. See, this is 20. So you can see the total number of workers. 20 plus 10 is equal to 30. Okay. So now this is how you find out or bar graph is given. Now the next question, that is question number 6. You can 5. You can see that a histogram is given, and then you have to find out the different things, data that you want. It's about number of students watching TV and how many hours are spent. I hope you will be able to do this. So question number 5, you don't have to draw the diagram. I've written here itself. Question number 5 will be your homework. You can do it you don't have to draw the bar graph in your class. So I hope all of you will try to do the question number 5. Please write full statements and write down the solution. Wherever it is addition required, you add the numbers, and you will be able to do this, I hope. We'll go to the next exercise in our next video, where we'll have pie charts and all. I hope the explanation was helpful. Everyone, please stay safe, stay at home, take care. If you have any doubt, please let me know. I'll help as much as I can. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day ahead.